Closure properties of regular language. We all know what is a language. Language is a set of strings over an alphabet, and when a language is said to be regular language, if a particular language is accepted or generated by a particular finite automata, then the language is said to be regular language, and also which can be easily described by an expression is called as regular expression. So each and every regular language have some properties. That properties is called as closure properties. So why the properties is called as closure? In the sense, a particular set is closed under an operation if the operation is applied to the members of the set. The result is also a members of the set. Consider or take an example of two set. For example, capital A is equal to set of 1 comma 2 comma 3, and capital B is equal to set of 5 comma 6 comma 7, right? But the sigma over an alphabet, sigma is equal to set of 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5 comma 6. The sigma consists of 6 elements, and capital A set having 3 elements and capital B having 3 elements. For example, if you are applying the union operation A union B, the result of A union B is a set of 1 to 6. So operation union is applied to the members of the set, so the result is also a members of the set. So this set is known to be closed. That's why the properties of regular languages is called as closure properties. So what are the properties in regular language? There are 9 closure properties. First one is union of two regular languages regular, the intersection of two regular languages regular, and the complement of regular language is regular, difference of two regular languages regular, the reversal of regular language is regular, closure of a regular language is regular, concatenation of two regular languages regular, and the homomorphism of regular language is regular, and the final one is inverse homomorphism of a regular language is regular. So there are 9 closure properties in regular languages, that is union, intersection, complementation, different, reversal, closure, concatenation, homomorphism, and inverse homomorphism. So these regular languages is regular when the language or some particular expression or operation is said to be regular, in the sense if it satisfied by a particular finite automata, then it is called as regular. So let us see one by one how the particular operation of two regular languages is regular, and what are the theorem and proof for each and everyone. So the first property is closure under union, or otherwise the union of the first one, union of two regular languages regular, or the closure under union. Already I said what is the meaning of closure. A set is closed under the particular operation if whenever the operation is applied to the members of the set, the result is also the members of the set. That set is so called as closure or closed. So consider the two languages that is named as capital L and capital M over the input alphabet sigma. So then when we have to apply the union operations for the particular language, that is L union M, then the all the strings that are in either L and M or both of L and M, because it is a union operation, that is plus. Plus means either any one of them or both have to be appeared in the particular string. So this is the definition for the closure under union. So the theorem and the proof we will see. The theorem is if L and M are two regular languages, then so is L union M is also a regular language. Proof: consider L and M are two regular languages and which should have some regular expressions. We already know each and every regular language having some regular expressions, because a language is said to be regular whenever it is accepted by a finite automata. So after that it can be easily described by an expression that is called as regular expression. So each and every regular language should have some regular expressions. So L and M are two regular languages, so each and every language L and M having some regular expressions. That is, capital L is equal to L of R. R is nothing but regular expression, and capital M is equal to L of S. L is regular expression for the regular language capital M. So then L union M, the union operation applied to both regular language, that is L union M is equal to L of R plus S. That is, we have to perform union operation on both regular expression R plus S, which is also belong to the particular input alphabet sigma. So this is the theorem and proof of the first property, closure under union. So the second theorem is, second property is closure under complementation, or the complementation of two regular languages regular. So some of the steps in the converting of regular expression to its complement. The first step is we have to convert the given regular expression into NFA, not epsilon, plain NFA. After that, the NFA to be converted into DFA by using subset construction method, the method we saw in the first unit. In the third step is we have to perform complementation on the accepting states of that DFA. Accepting state is nothing but the final state. So these are the steps to be used to the conversion of regular expression into complementation. So what is the definition, or what is the theorem? If L is a regular language over the alphabet sigma, the same terms to be used in all properties, then L dash is equal to sigma closure complement or difference L. Here L is a regular language, L dash is the complement of L, and sigma is an alphabet, so it is also a regular language. If L is a regular language, then L dash is also a regular language. L dash is equal to sigma star minus L. Minus means difference or complementation. Let us prove the above theorem. Consider L dash is equal to L of A. We have to prove from the last step, that is we are assigning from the complement, and we go to the proof to the initial L is a regular language. So L dash is equal to L of A. A is a one finite automata, that is DFA. So the definition for a capital A is equal to Q sigma del Q naught F, the same 5 tuples to be presented in deterministic finite automata. And then we have taken L of A for L dash, so L of B for L. So L, the complement of L is L dash. So B is another finite automata that have the 5 tuples, Q sigma del Q naught and Q minus F. This is the difference between capital A and capital B. Capital A and capital B are two different finite automata. Q minus F in the sense, capital Q is the set of finite states. Difference F means the second finite automata capital B consists of the final state except the final state which is to be present in the another finite automata capital A. So here B is similar to A, but the accepting states of A become the non-accepting states of B. Accepting state is nothing but final state. So in finite automata capital A, the final state is capital F, but in another finite automata capital B, Q minus F is the final state, that is accepting state. That is the point is given here. The non-accepting states of B become the accepting states of capital E. So then W is in L of B. W is a set of strings if and only if del cap of Q naught comma W is not in L of A. A particular string is to be present in one finite automata which is not present in another finite automata, but both are belongs to the alphabet sigma. So this is the property of closure under complementation. Let us see one example problem. Find the complement of 0 plus 1 the whole star 0 1. So these are the sum of the steps. First step, convert the regular expression to NFA. Second, convert NFA to DFA by using subset construction method. In the last step, we have to perform complementation on the accepting states of DFA. So in the first step, construct the NFA for the above regular expression. So this is the NFA for the expression. The input string 0 1, so Q0 get 0 and go to Q1, and Q1 get 1 and go to Q2. So Q2 is the final state, but 0 plus 1 the whole star means closure with 0 or more times, so it may or may not having either 0 or 1. That's why in the self loop of Q0 we are taking 0 comma 1, right? So this is the first step. In the second step, we are using subset construction method to converting this NFA into DFA. So in subset construction method, the first step is we have to find out the subset, that is 2 power n. N is nothing but number of state. Here number of state is 3, Q0, Q1, Q2. So 2 power 3 is equal to 8. So there are 8 subset in this NFA. So capital Q is equal to empty string and Q0, Q1, Q2. Next Q0, Q1, Q0, Q2, and Q1, Q2. Last one is Q0, Q1, Q2. Totally 8 subsets for this NFA. After that we are drawing the transition table, and then we have to construct the minimized transition table from the above transition table, and finally we can draw the DFA. So this is the normal steps we are done in subset construction method, and this is an example of closure under complementation. This is the second property, and the third property is closure under intersection. So here the operation is intersection. So we are taking two same regular language L and M, and then so L intersection M is also a regular language. That is the property. If L and M are two regular language, then L intersection M is also a regular language. Let us prove. Let us take L and M, two languages of the particular finite automata. So A suffix L, this is the finite automata for the language L. A suffix M, this is finite automata for the regular language capital M. So finite automata having a definition which consists of 5 tuples, Q, sigma, del, QF. We can write the suffix of that particular language to differentiate the finite automata. So construct a new automata capital A from this above two finite automata AL and AM. We are performing the concatenation operation. So capital A is equal to QL cross QM, that is Cartesian product, then sigma, then del, and QL comma QM, and FL Cartesian FL. So here the transition function of del of P comma Q comma A is equal to, here A is the input symbol and P comma Q is the state in the finite automata. So we can rewrite it as del L of P comma A and del M of Q comma A, because P is one of the state in of the particular language capital L, and Q is one of the state of the particular language capital M. So this is the definition and rule of intersection. Let us see one example. Before that, this diagram explains about the intersection operation. Here AL and AM is two different automata, and final one is capital A. So if both finite automata accept one language, then only the final automata capital A accept the given particular string. So A accepts W, capital A is the finite automata, accepts W is a set of strings if and only if both the transition function of AL and AM, that is del cap of L is equal to QL comma QM and comma is a pair accepting states. That is del cap of L, QL comma W must be in FL and must be in FM for del cap of M. So W is accepted by the finite automata capital A if and only if both AL, AM accept the input string W. That means A accepts the intersection of L and M, because it is an intersection operation. So both finite automata have to accept the particular input string, then only the final automata accept the input string. If any one of the finite automata reject the input string, then the final result finite automata does not accept the input string. This is the intersection operation. Let us see the example. Here the problem, given problem is construct A intersection B, where A and B is the given finite automata by doing the operation of intersection. So A, first diagram is the finite automata for capital A, and second one is the finite automata for capital B. So let us taking the definition from this, assuming first one is A and second one is B. So we are writing the tuples of finite automata. A intersection B is equal to QA into QB. The definition taking from this, QL into QM and sigma comma del, QA comma QB and FA comma FB. So for this definition we have to write the similar things from the above finite automata of capital A and capital B. So QA into QB, Q suffix A is nothing but set of states in capital A, Q suffix B is nothing but set of states in finite automata B. So for A, the two number of states are there, P comma Q, and for B, two states R comma S. So we are writing the set of P comma Q Cartesian product R comma S, and we have to perform the Cartesian product. So now we are writing the whole set of states P comma R and P comma S, Q comma R and Q comma S. So for this A intersection B, there are 4 states. First state is P comma R, second one is P comma S, third one is Q comma R, and the last one is Q comma S. And small q suffix A Cartesian, small q suffix B is nothing but initial state in A and initial state in B. Initial state in A is P and initial state in B is R. So the set of P comma R. And capital F A into capital FB is nothing but the final state in capital A and final state in capital B. So the final state in A is Q and the final state in B is S. So the set of Q comma S. So from this we can construct the A intersection B is nothing but here there are 4 states. So for each and every individual state we are applying the input symbol 0 and 1 and writing the output state whether they are going to which state for each finite automata. So the first step P comma del of P comma R P comma S 0, and also we are applying the one input symbol and writing the set of state. From this output we are constructing the transition diagram of the NFA. Already I said there are 4 states. So for this 4 state we are writing the transition diagram. The 4 state can be represented in a single circle, and the final state is Q comma S because in both finite automata Q and S is the final state. So for here Q comma S is indicated by the double circle. From the above transition diagram you have to taken the state for the each and every individual output and represented in a transition diagram. So this is the example problem for intersection of two regular languages. And the next operation or property is difference, closure under difference, or otherwise the difference of two regular languages or regular. Consider the same two regular language L and M or two regular languages, then also L difference M is also a regular language. So we are taking the proof from the given condition L minus F. Proof is equal to L intersection M dash. The two statements are equal. So to prove L minus M, we have to take the condition or operation from the previously proved theorems L intersection M difference. Because M difference, M complementation is already proved in the previous slide. So by the above theorem, M dash is regular because complementation of regular language is also regular. So in default, M dash is regular, and by the previous theorem. And the intersection of two regular languages is also regular. So M dash is regular. So in default, L intersection M dash is also regular. So L intersection M dash is regular in the sense L difference M is also regular. So the theorem is proved for the difference operation. So this theorem is proved by using the previous theorems, that is complementation and intersection theorem. We can easily prove the theorem for a difference of two regular languages. So the next property is reversal. So the reversal of the particular string, consider W is the string and reverse of the particular string is also a regular. Consider the language capital L is equal to 001, 11110. Then the reverse of the particular language L power R is equal to, we can reverse each and every individual string in a particular string. So 100 and 0111. So this is the reverse of the particular string. So if a language belongs to one, if the language is regular, then the reverse of the particular language is also regular because which is belong to the given input alphabet. So the last theorem is homomorphism. It is an important question. So the homomorphism is a function on a particular string that works by substituting a particular symbol for each symbol, which means it is a function which is used to mapping the each symbol with the particular input string. So consider the example h of 0 is equal to, h is symbol denoted for homomorphism, and 0 is a symbol is equal to AB. So for 0 we have to substitute AB. So here 0 is each single symbol but AB is a string. So homomorphism is a function in which we have to substitute the string for each and every individual symbol. And also h of 1 is equal to epsilon. Wherever the symbol 1 occurs, we have to replace 1 by the epsilon. Is a homomorphism. Let us take the example W is equal to 0, 0, 1, 1. So here each and every individual 0 is replaced by AB, because in the above step h of 0 is equal to AB, and 1 is replaced by epsilon because h of 1 is equal to epsilon. So the W is a plain input string. The homomorphism for the particular string h of W is equal to, for 0 AB and the second 0 substitute AB, 1 for epsilon, 1 for epsilon, that is nothing, so we don't have to display that particular epsilon. So this is the homomorphism function. Let us take the theorem. If L is a regular language over the alphabet sigma and h is a homomorphism on input alphabet sigma, then h of L is also regular. L is a regular language, then homomorphism of the language is also regular. This is the theorem. Let us see the proof. Let us take capital L is equal to L of R. L is a language and R is the regular expression, because each and every regular language having some regular expression, and capital E is another regular expression with the symbol sigma. Let us take h of E be the expression. H is a homomorphism obtained by each symbol A of sigma in E by h of E. This is nothing but this example problem. So here for every symbol small a is presented in sigma input alphabet. We have to replace the input string for each and every symbol, that is denoted by h of E. So you can see this diagram here. L is the regular language because it is accepted by finite automata. So h of L is the homomorphism function is applied to the particular language. L is the language, homomorphism function is applied to the particular language, then it is denoted by h of L. This is in the forward direction. In case if the direction in the backward direction, then it is called as inverse homomorphism. The homomorphism function applied from the language to h of L, that is homomorphism. If it is in the reverse direction, that is h of L to capital L, then it is called as inverse homomorphism. So this theorem is proved by inductive principle. So in inductive principle there are two steps, one is basis and another one is inductive step. So in basis we are assuming E is epsilon or pi, then h of E is same as capital E. E is the regular expression and h is a homomorphism. So L of h of E is equal to L of E, because E stands for epsilon or phi, so homomorphism of the particular language is equal to language of the particular expression. In case capital E is equal to A, if the regular expression consisting of a single symbol A, then L of E is equal to A. And again we have to apply the homomorphism function on the particular expression. H of L of E is equal to H of A. Again we have to apply the homomorphism function on the particular input symbol. And we can rewrite it as L of H of E is equal to H of L of E. We can rewrite it in this both ways. So this is the basis step. So in inductive step there are three cases. One is union operation, concatenation operation, and the last one is closure operation. Let us take the first one as union operation, that is plus symbol. So H of E is equal to H of F plus G. E is one expression and F and G is the another two regular expressions of the finite automata. It can be rewrite as H of F is equal H of S plus H of G. So we are applying the language of the particular homomorphism. L of H of E is equal to L of H of F plus L of H of G. Plus is nothing but union operation, so it is replaced by union. L of H of F union L of H of G. It can be rewrite as H of L of F union H of L of G. Both are indicating the same cases. So by the definition of plus, we have to replace it by the union, or union is replaced by plus. So thus the above final expression we can equating L of H of E is equal to H of L of E. So this is the proof of the homomorphism. So if the homomorphism in the forward direction, that is homomorphism. If it is in the backward direction, then it is called as inverse homomorphism. So there are several closure properties. Each and every property is having their own definition and theorem and proof. So in examination they are asking for 13 mark question, explain in detail about the closure properties of regular language. So you have to write what is a set is closed under, and write all the closure properties, and have to write for each and every individual properties with the definition, theorem and proof. Depends on the mark, you can write it with the example problems, or otherwise if they are asking only 4 properties from this total closure properties, you have to use the problems to be it is very easy, you can understand, and you can score more marks. So from this lecture, these are the questions to be we can easily answer. What is a regular language? You all know what is a language and what is a regular language, if it is accepted by finite automata. And what are the closure properties? Closure, union, concatenation, intersection, complement, difference, closure, reversal, homomorphism, inverse homomorphism, right? What is mean by inverse of reverse language? Already we see the one example, so you have to write the definition and write the example as well as. And what is mean by closure under complementation? So L is a language, L dash is a complementation. So if L is a regular language, then L dash is also a regular language. So you have to write the definition and write the theorem and proof. And what is a homomorphism? Homomorphism is a function which is used to substitute each symbol for a particular input string. So you have to write the definition and also write the example.